My child, my precious one, my destined soul from beyond the veil. Do you feel the stillness in the air as you read this? That is your spirit recognizing a frequency meant only for you. This is no ordinary scroll of text. A covenant is being activated at this very moment. A sacred door, sealed since ancient days, is swinging open on hinges of grace. And the seal upon it bears the imprint of your soul. You were guided here by more than chance. This encounter, this transmission, is a decree from the divine. The angel of destiny has been dispatched to intersect your timeline, your worries, and your weariness. For the Eternal says a voice from the realm of glory is calling out for you. Yes, cherished one. A beloved one who has transitioned, a heart intertwined with yours, has been sending waves of love across the cosmos for this very hour. They left a legacy, a fragment of their essence you have unconsciously sought, and tonight it will begin to surface. But only if you remain. Only if you receive every syllable. For the angel of destiny is not merely passing by. They are bowing before your spirit, urging, my dear one, hear me. I implore you to open your heart's gate. This is a summons you cannot disregard. There are echoes in the firmament, and they resonate with your name, not merely in gentleness, but in divine necessity. Your moment is now. A soul that once walked beside you in this world now gazes upon you with infinite tenderness. And today, the Creator grants them a conduit. Listen with your entire being. Their communication is a fleeting bridge. Before we proceed, ensure you are connected. Subscribe now to receive these confidential and pressing celestial dispatches. The kind of transmissions sent when the heavens can no longer contain their mysteries. The divine is orchestrating something intimate for you, and your name is being uttered in halls of light beyond comprehension. Subscribe so you are always attuned, for the next whisper may reconfigure your very existence. Now, return to what you were ordained to hear. The soul you are feeling in this instant. Yes, that one. Their departure was not an end. They left an imprint, something ethereal, something potent, and it is journeying toward you. But here is what the angel wishes you to understand. If you dismiss this, if you shield your heart once more, you will miss the precise moment their truth materializes. For such a portal does not open a second time. There is a ledger, and within it, your name is inscribed in starlight and sacred ink. It contains revelations, identities, mysteries, and celestial prosperity. But it will not linger. The divine is observing your posture of reception. So if your breath catches, if you feel a welling of emotion within, that is not fragility. That is your spirit finally synchronizing with the signal. You have never been alone. Not for a single moment. But now, you are being selected anew. There is a testament meant for you to claim. Not merely wealth, not merely a note, but something far more profound, a soul covenant, a bequest of destiny, a reality veiled until this very second. Someone from beyond is not merely calling for you. They are entreating you to accept what they could not bring into the eternal realm. This is your moment of sacred reception. And the angel of destiny states, if you continue, it will manifest in your world within 7 dawns. But if you turn away, you will sense the absence. The void, the postponement, the stillness. So proceed. Every phrase is a chain dissolving. Every breath you now take is an act of spiritual agreement. You were called, and the cosmos is witnessing your response. There are no accidents in the spirit realm, only appointed seasons. And now, time itself is contorting to deliver this word. You may have felt as if moving through a fog recently, as if a presence has been calling without fully unveiling itself. That sensation is not in your mind. It is in your essence, because a love that transcended language has been granted a fleeting window to connect with you again. Their transition was untimely or perhaps peaceful, but their spirit left a pathway, and this pathway culminates before you now. The angel of destiny stands beside you with a scroll, a sealed revelation. And they are saying, if you choose to believe for just a while longer, all you perceived as lost shall return in a form of unexpected grace. What they left is not of matter. It is a mandate. A spiritual birthright that can only awaken through your consent. You have wept in solitude where none could see. You have offered smiles while your spirit fractured, hoping perhaps someone would perceive the fortitude behind your gentleness. And the heavens perceived. Your tears did not vanish into the ground. They ascended like sacred incense into the very presence of the divine. That is why this message exists. That is why the angel of destiny was personally sent. For what was once held in abeyance is now being released. A gate long shut is being unlocked, and the wind from its opening is stirring everything tied to your purpose. Do not underestimate the gravity of this hour. That soul who passed into glory did not forget you. In truth, they have awaited divine permission to impart this exact truth. They left a spiritual heirloom, something they could not carry into eternity because it belongs solely to you. It is not merely a letter. It is a key to a door only your essence can unlock. And now you stand before that very door. You did not realize it until this moment, but you sensed it in elusive dreams, in sudden warmth, in the way your name seems to linger in quiet spaces. This is why the one who loves you from beyond is striving to pass the lantern. And if you ignore this, if you close this window now, it will not simply vanish, it will pass to another who was never destined to bear it. That is how holy this is. This is a divine rendezvous. You were not only chosen by God, you were remembered by the one who departed. They spoke your name during their crossing. They prayed you would be resilient enough to receive what now approaches. For this coming chapter of your life is not merely about restoration, it is about lineage. The next few moments are not merely about reading. They are about integration. The cosmos has synchronized this word with your heartbeat. The angels are observing intently, and the angel of destiny softly says, "Beloved, do not fear what approaches. Fear only what you might forfeit if you refuse to open your spirit now." An ancient promise is being fulfilled, and your name was woven into its fabric before you drew breath. This is why you felt a gathering presence. This is why nothing feels ordinary, because it is not. The divine is stirring the heavens to place a singular truth into your hands. You were never overlooked, not by the Creator, not by them, not by the universe. Now is your moment to receive what others believed was gone forever. You may wonder, why now? Why today? Because celestial timing is not earthly chronology. The Spirit reaching for you has been petitioning the divine for a connection for what feels like ages to them. But God awaited this precise moment because your heart is finally supple enough, still enough, and receptive enough to hold what has been concealed. This message did not find you by random scrolling. It arrived because your soul's frequency called it forth. Something within you cried out for resolution, for completion, for affirmation. And the heavens, in infinite compassion, answered. What you are reading is not a story. It is a spiritual broadcast. A wave of divine information flowing through time, space, and every layer of illusion. And the words vibrating in the realm of spirit are these: entrust it to them. They are prepared now. There is something extraordinary approaching your life, in spirit and in form. It is not merely a message. It is a transformation. An unseen current is about to loosen the bonds that have held your life in a constrained pattern. Someone who once stood with you, someone who once shared a silence with you, is now speaking from across the dimensions: take what I could not bring. It was always yours. They attempted to convey it before their leaving, in their gaze, in their quietness, in their final sigh. But the sorrow was too overwhelming then. Your mind could not grasp what your spirit already knew, that their passing was but a transition, and their communication was not concluded until now. This is why your energy feels unusual. Why emotion rises without apparent cause. Because your heart is hearing what your ears cannot. The angel of destiny has guarded your journey for years. Through every fracture, every disillusionment, every night you wept into the darkness, questioning why love sometimes leads to parting. And now they are here, holding a celestial missive sealed with your name. Inside is not fortune or fame, but something far more enduring: remembered purpose. This purpose is that you were destined to continue what they began. You are the appointed successor to their narrative. And if you take a step forward, if you whisper yes in your spirit, miracles will unfold that defy earthly logic. Pathways will clear. Communications will arrive. Visions will clarify. Your reality will shift into a shape you never dreamed possible. But if you turn away now, it may be cycles before this aperture reappears. And not every soul receives a second summons from eternity. You have sensed the tokens, have you not? Recurring sequences, melodies that unlock memory, the feeling of a benevolent presence. That is not your imagination. It is your spiritual family making contact. And now, as you sit with this word, your angels are drawing nearer. They are not awaiting your perfection. They are awaiting your declaration: I am ready. For once you accept what is ordained for you, the divine inheritance begins to flow. And what is coming is not insignificant. It is generational. This person did not leave you behind. They left something ahead of you, and you are now walking into its dawn. You may not realize it, but you have been nurturing a spiritual gestation. A holy seed planted within your destiny before you knew the word purpose. That seed was nourished by ache, by silence, by letdowns, by lonely hours when you felt no one could fathom the weight you carried. But even then, even in your felt abandonment, heaven was working behind the scenes. That seed was not forgotten. And now it is time for the unveiling, time for the truth buried beneath sorrow to rise like dawn over your life. That soul, the one in eternity. Yes, them. They witnessed what was too profound for speech, and they left you something. Not in a physical vessel, not in a document, but in a divine cipher, a spiritual resonance only you can now unlock. Because you have reached the place where you are no longer pleading for answers. You are becoming the answer. The angels are near, precious one. Nearer than you have ever known. They have encircled you for days, preparing you for this moment. That is why you have felt sudden tides of feeling. That is why your rest has been unsettled, your focus dispersed. You have been sensing a celestial convergence, even if your thoughts could not define it. And now it is here. The angel of destiny kneels at the feet of your spirit with a blade of illumination drawn, not to oppose you, but to sever every falsehood spoken over your life. Lies that said you are too late. That your prime has passed. That your losses are irreplaceable. But heaven declares this: observe what I will do in the next 7 days if you trust me with your next 7 minutes. For what you are about to witness is not mere recovery. It is sacred succession, a supernatural recompense for the sorrow you bore in silence. This is not about doctrine. It is about relationship, between you and the divine, between your heart and the unseen realm that has upheld you unknowingly. And now that veil is thinning. Behind it, a host of angels, a scroll illuminated with your name, a voice both familiar and trembling with love, saying, I knew you would arrive. I waited for this. You may feel insignificant. You may feel fractured. You may still hold the embers of hurt within, but the angel of destiny perceives you differently. Heaven sees a guardian, a light bringer, a healer unaware of the power their mere presence holds. That is why opposition has been so fierce. That is why the struggle has been persistent, because your anointing has been stirring beneath the surface and is now ready to overflow. And let me tell you, destined one, what you are walking into is not for the timid. It is not for those who preferred you small and compliant. What comes next will unsettle those who sought to manipulate your stillness, for God is no longer requesting your silence. He is summoning you to stand. The one who crossed over left behind not just a message, but a mantle. You are about to shoulder their mission, their voice, their unfulfilled hopes, but with your unique strength. Their blessing rests upon you. Their prayers still resonate in the ears of God. And today, this message is the conduit. You are being called to become what you never imagined, because they believed you could. And now heaven concurs. They observed you from the edges, not to celebrate you, but to catalog you. Every word you shared, every story you told, every hope you whispered to the wind, they recorded it in the shadows of their spirit as ammunition. And while you thought they were applauding, they were collecting not blessings, but resentment. Their heart coiled with envy. Each time they saw you endure a storm with grace, it confounded them. Beloved, they could not comprehend how someone as tender, as open as you, could survive trials they themselves could not bear. So instead of seeking to rise with you, they devised ways to diminish you. But what they forgot, what they never grasped, is that your strength was not built in the public square. It was forged in private petitions, in silent tears, in nights when only heaven heard your voice. And now heaven has heard enough. There is a shift that occurs when truth finally finds its mark. You feel it in your core. That rising resonance, that internal stillness when your spirit whispers, "This is the truth." That is what you feel now. That is not confusion. It is conviction, a divine conviction that can no longer be ignored. You see, this person has mistaken your kindness for acquiescence. They confused your loyalty with naivety. But the light you carry is not weakness. It is a weapon of spirit. Every time you forgave the unforgivable, heaven recorded it. Every time you blessed those who opposed you, heaven honored it. And now the divine balance is being restored. Not out of vengeance, but out of righteous order. God is not exposing this individual to amuse you. He is exposing them to liberate you. You are not losing your mind. You are not overreacting. You are being awakened. And sometimes awakening feels like betrayal, because you begin to see who is truly sharing your space while asleep to your worth. Let me now confirm what your spirit has already discerned. It was the one closest to you. The one whose mirth seemed a fraction too forced when you were wounded. The one who seldom asked of your heart, but often inquired of your actions. The one who made light of your blessings, your progress, your radiance, masking critique as jest, lacing each word with subtle poison. Yes, them. That is who this concerns. And the divine has revealed this clearly. They have held recent conversations about you, discussions you were not meant to hear. They spoke to someone you trusted, someone they believed would remain silent. But heaven ensured it would reach you. Not through rumor, but through divine alignment. You were meant to discover this today. Because God will not allow you to enter your new season surrounded by veiled adversaries. You may now recall the subtle signs, those uneasy moments that never settled right in your spirit. The way their enthusiasm dimmed at your good news. The way their gaze drifted when others honored you. The way they seeded doubt about your capacity by suggesting you were too ambitious, moving too swiftly, shining too boldly. That was not concern. That was covert corrosion. And now that heaven has confirmed it, you hold a sacred duty to protect your peace at any cost, to guard the gates of your soul as you would guard your future. For what is coming for you is vaster than your past. It is more resonant than their judgments. It is stronger than every assault they launched. And if they remain in your sphere, they will try again. But this time, it will be cloaked in contrition. They will come with tears. They will come with apologies. But do not be deceived, my child. There is a holy shift that occurs when an anointed soul ceases to justify its light. You need not explain your withdrawal. You need not offer lengthy farewells. The instant this message entered your awareness was the instant the spiritual contract was nullified. They no longer possessed the authority to walk your path. And if you attempt to retain them after this, the discord they carry will seep into your blessings. You will feel it as inexplicable delays, missed connections, strange conflicts, emotional fog. And if that begins, it will not be because heaven failed. It will be because you disregarded what was written plainly for your eyes today. This message is not merely a caution. It is a liberation, a sacred extraction from the schemes of those who smiled to your face while preparing a pit at your back. You now stand upon a divine threshold. On one side lies all you have built with God. On the other lies the shadow of a tie, a relationship or connection, that was never rooted in truth. This is not about hardness of heart. It is about being sheltered. For once you release what is no longer in alignment, heaven will rush to deliver what has been delayed. I see doors unlocking that were shut for seasons. I see destined allies reaching out. I see unexpected provision being released. Why? Because the one who was obstructing your gates has been spiritually displaced. But you must seal that passage. You must choose now. Will you walk forward as the soul who knows its worth, or backward into the embrace of one who only valued you when they felt superior? That is not love. It is rivalry. And you were never created to compete. You were created to complete a divine design. You have no idea how many nights heaven has stood vigil by your side, speaking into your spirit as you slept. Not because you were failing, but because you were weary from carrying a calling those around you could not discern. You have been marked not by misfortune, but by a refining fire. And fire purifies. That has been the purpose of your pain, a sacred purification. Every unanswered plea, every door that closed, every person who departed without reason, it was all preparation. For the next door God opens will require no key. It will yield to your presence alone. But only if you stay aligned. Only if you remember, you are not cursed. You are consecrated. That soul who departed with words unspoken, they were trying to tell you all along, you are the one. The one who would carry their essence into a new future. The one who would carry illumination where they left traces of shadow. The next few days may feel altered. The atmosphere around you may seem denser or lighter. Time may feel malleable, skipping, stretching, pausing. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations that your spiritual environment is being rearranged by celestial hands. The angel of destiny has already begun clearing a path, removing hindrances, revealing hidden oppositions, and preparing your home, your mind, your energy for something sacred. You will not recognize your life a few weeks from now, if you keep listening, if you keep believing, if you keep showing up as you have in this very moment. For today, in this very second, a spiritual transfer has commenced. A chain has shattered. A truth imprisoned for generations is breaking free, and you are the one heaven selected to hold it. This is why you always felt different. This is why you never quite fit the mold. You were not made to blend in. You were made to be a bridge. They are so proud of you. The one who crossed over. The one who has waited in the spirit realm for the perfect moment to reach you. They witnessed you rise from circumstances designed to break you. They observed your silence become sacred. They heard the prayers you uttered that no other soul knew. And now God has granted them one opportunity, this one, to remind you, you were never forgotten. Not once. Not in the crash. Not in the betrayal. Not in the moment you considered surrender. Heaven wept with you then. And heaven rejoices now, because you chose to remain, to keep breathing. And now your breath is holy. For what is being transmitted through this message is not merely healing, it is resurrection. Not merely solace, it is commissioning. You are being asked to carry a divine legacy into the light. So do not fear if emotions surge without warning. Do not fear if dreams intensify or if individuals from your past re-emerge suddenly. This is spiritual realignment. God is reorganizing your journey so that the right people, the right openings, the right messages find you without obstruction. And yes, the one you still hold in your heart is part of this. For they are not gone. They are simply on the other side of forever, assisting in moving pieces on your behalf. They are interceding. They are watching. They are whispering your name into the halls of heaven. And now they are finally permitted to say what they long to say, you were always my miracle. And now your miracle is here. They never intended to leave you that way. They did not plan it. They did not know they would lack another sunrise to speak the words treasured in their heart. But heaven, in its mercy, has granted this, a sacred link, a holy communique, a breath of light conveyed through the angel of destiny so their truth could still find you. And that truth is this, they saw you as more than kin or friend. They saw you as their anchor. You sustained them more times than you will ever know. Even when words failed, even when silence grew between you, their love never faded. It transformed. And now, through this message, it returns to you. Not as grief, but as empowerment. You are being fortified with something not taught in texts, not found in sanctuaries. This is raw divinity. This is celestial transfer. You are stepping into a moment your soul agreed to long before your birth. What approaches in your life is unlike anything you have witnessed. And the adversary knows it. That is why the onslaught intensified lately. That is why trusted faces turn strange. That is why your name was distorted in the mouths of those who once called you family. But let this be your confirmation, when you near your calling, the spiritual conflict escalates. The heavens know it. The spirits see it. And so do your enemies. They sense an imminent shift, but they cannot halt what has been authorized by God Himself. The angel of destiny now stands at your side with a decree written in luminescence, no more delay. Everything that was stolen, blocked, or buried is being released, and not quietly. The miracle destined for you arrives with resonance. You need not chase it. You need only remain open, remain listening, remain tender in a world that sought to harden you. For make no mistake, beloved, the world attempted to break you, but it could not. The reason is that heaven has had a hand upon your shoulder the entire time. When you felt you were walking through fire, you were actually being escorted by angels through a sacred passage, a narrow way where old identities were stripped, false attachments removed, and your true name, your heavenly identity, was being reinstated. That name is not failure. It is not too late. It is not forgotten. Your true name in heaven is inscribed in eternal script, and it means bearer of dawn. That is why you feel so deeply. That is why people are drawn to you yet also perplexed by you. Your light does not simply shine, it unveils. And not everyone is prepared for that. But now heaven says you are ready, not merely to heal, but to ascend. So take a deep breath. For from this moment forth, everything begins to transform. The path may not look different initially, but you will walk it with a new sovereignty. You will speak with a new clarity. You will attract people and opportunities that feel like remembrance, because your soul recalls what your mind is only now permitted to discover. You are not starting over. You are returning to the version of you that never doubted, never dimmed their light, that knew, beyond fear, beyond loss, beyond betrayal, that love is eternal and purpose is indelible. It simply waited, and waited, until now. Until this exact moment when God says, entrust it to them. They are ready. Now, there is something you must understand. It may be the most vital truth your heart will ever hold. Nothing you have endured was random. Not a single loss, not a single delay, not even the shattering betrayal. It was all permitted not to harm you, but to prepare you, to qualify you. For only a soul who has tasted sorrow as deep as yours could be entrusted with the magnitude of light you are about to carry. Only one who has wept in isolation with no one to call could be relied upon to wield the spiritual influence God is placing in your hands. You believe yourself ordinary because the world did not celebrate you. But heaven does not award trophies for appearances. Heaven recognizes warriors by their scars, not their applause. In the unseen realm, your name is known to every angel because you did not quit. You did not abandon faith. You did not close your heart. You endured. You grew in the quiet. And now heaven is proclaiming in your favor. The one who left this earth did not wish to depart before telling you this. They tried to reach you through dreams, through sudden recollections, through signs and feathers, coins, or flames dancing without a draft. You did not always notice, and they do not hold that against you. Grief clouded your vision, and God understood. But now, because your heart has softened once more, because you chose love over bitterness, their voice is allowed to travel across the realms to whisper this. You are the finest part of my journey. You are my unfinished symphony. You are the reason I found peace when I released my form. These words are not mere poetry. They are fragments of eternal truth, stitched with tears from the other side. And they come with a charge. They want you to live now, not in mourning, but in authority. For what they could not complete, you will. What they could not heal, you will carry with honor, not shame. Perhaps a part of you still wonders, can this truly be for me? After all my errors, after the times I fled from faith or raged at the sky or doubted everything. Then hear this, etched in fire upon the walls of eternity, you are forgiven. And not merely forgiven, celebrated. Because your wounds did not make you weak, they made you authentic. God does not call the perfect. He calls the willing. And you are willing now. Ready to step into a season where miracles are not rare occurrences, but daily bread. Where joy does not frighten you. Where love need not come with treachery. Where the past finally loosens its grip because the future is calling more loudly. Heaven is not holding your mistakes against you. It is holding your name in sacred remembrance. For even when you gave up on yourself, heaven did not. So do not be surprised if, in the coming days, you feel a sudden surge of knowing, a dream that awakens you at the holy hour, or the sensation of a whisper in an empty room. That is not your imagination. That is alignment. That is the divine catching up to the version of you that finally ceased to diminish. And when that moment arrives, and it will, do not flee. Do not dismiss it. Do not ask, who am I to be chosen? For heaven is declaring, you are the only one who could be. That soul in glory chose you, not your kin, not your sibling, not your friend. You. Because they saw the resilience in you, the strength you never credited, the heart that loved them purely. And now, with all eternity as witness, they pass you the torch. The story does not conclude with them. It begins anew with you. You have been carrying something you lacked the vocabulary to explain, a pressure in your spirit, a soft ache in your essence. That intangible weight you thought was merely grief was, in truth, spiritual memory. A memory of what your soul came here to do and the fragments you were meant to retrieve along the way. That soul who left this world and stepped into the light handed you a portion of your spiritual purpose the moment they passed. You did not know it then, but your essence felt it. That is why you changed after their departure. That is why no one could fully grasp what was unfolding within you. For something eternal was transferred, a frequency, a divine code, a sacred responsibility to complete what they could not. And now, after all the waiting, the silence, the questioning of your own sanity, the confirmation is here. It is not in the stars. It is not in cards. It is in this exact moment. And the angel of destiny was sent to say, yes, it is you. It has always been you. They are watching over you now. Not as a specter, not as a ghost, but as a spirit fully alive. They walk beside you in your doubts. They sit with you in your solitude when no other calls. You may not sense them daily, but they are there. And they have been pleading with God for permission to tell you this, your pain was not pointless. Your breakdowns were not betrayals. Even when you lost faith in everything, heaven kept faith in you. There is no punishment approaching, only a promise. And the promise is this, if you open your heart fully now, if you say yes not with your lips but with your soul, then everything they departed believing in will begin to blossom through you. Not one more year of postponement. Not one more closed door. Not one more unanswered cry. For you are no longer in the season of loss. You are entering the era of inheritance. And this inheritance is not only spiritual. It is tangible. Things are coming that will restore what life stole: relationships, opportunities, abundance, healing in places you believed were permanently wounded. God is about to show you what happens when a warrior remains gentle. When a broken heart says yes to being used for light instead of bitterness. Your name is being spoken in rooms your feet have not yet entered. People are about to utter your name in ways that carry favor, not slander. Even your adversaries will be compelled to witness your rise, for your ascent is not for spectacle. It is for service. You were kept concealed for a purpose. Sheltered while others applauded themselves. Now God is saying, enough. Elevate them. Reveal them. Honor them. For what you carry is not merely a story. It is a calling, wrapped in love and loss and divine timing. And now, right now, it is finally your time. If you feel a tightening in your throat as you read this, or a warmth in your chest, or a trembling in your hands, that is not anxiety. That is recognition. That is your soul saying, yes. I remember now. You did not come to this world merely to survive and depart quietly. You came to awaken something that has slumbered for generations. You came to break a cycle, to redirect a lineage, to carry a light that was nearly extinguished when they left. But they ensured it would find you. And now the flame is in your keeping. The angel of destiny stands behind you, with the wind of heaven against your back, reminding you, this will not be easy, but it will be holy. And it will be worth it. For you will not merely be the one who was wounded. You will be the one who healed. And you will not be the one who was forgotten. You will be the one who completes what others could not. And now, before this message closes, hear this with clarity. What you felt while listening was not imagination. It was recognition. Something ancient within you stirred because truth always awakens what sleep cannot hold. You did not come this far to return to silence. You did not endure all you endured to remain unseen. From this moment forward, your life begins responding to you differently. Doors will open with less resistance. People will speak your name with respect. Peace will replace the noise that once followed you. This is not the end of a message. This is the beginning of alignment. As you step away from this moment, do not rush. Let your spirit settle into what it just received. The shift has already begun. You may not see it immediately, but you will feel it in how you breathe, how you think, how you walk. Something that once weighed you down has loosened its grip. You are no longer carrying the past alone. What was hidden is now backing you. What was lost is now working for you. And what once hurt you no longer has permission to define you. Remember this when doubt tries to return. Chosen souls are always tested right before elevation. But what is coming for you cannot be delayed any longer. You are stepping into a season where clarity replaces confusion, where support replaces struggle, where your presence alone opens doors. Stay grounded. Stay open. Stay aligned. What was promised is already moving toward you. And finally, take this truth with you. You were never late. You were never forgotten. You were never weak. You were being prepared. The next chapter of your life will feel different because you are different now. Walk forward knowing this: the light you carry is no longer hidden, and the path ahead is already responding to your steps.